Oh, yeah.
Sorry guys, it's a WA thing.
Yeah. Thanks for your attendance and time today. I've got 10 minutes, and this talk normally takes me an hour because I can just talk forever and ever, and I'm so passionate about what we do. But I'd like to start with the shell, and it's our story. Our story is on this shell. We purchase hatchery-reared juvenile abalone at 18 months of age. They're 40 millimetres. We build our own reefs in an area where abalone would grow well naturally, and then just let them grow free range. Very similar to the trepang. It's ranching in a true sense, and I kind of feel like I'm that lady in the story as well. So it's quite a unique thing we're doing, and we've actually been able to scale this business to quite a significant level now. And just to give you an idea, as of last week we had 7,000 of these reef modules in the water, and if you put them side by side, it's 14 kilometres long, each of them having 20 kilos harvested of abalone off them each year. So it's quite an extensive reef, and by the time this time next year there will be 10,000 of these reef modules in the water, and it'll be 20 kilometres long. It takes me personally around about 4 days to swim it, so just giving you an idea of scale. So I'm just going to quickly race through it. There's a cool 3-minute video in the middle of it, so that's the main bit of it. So it's really just about the process today and what we do. A bit about me, you know that. The good thing about green-lip abalone, and they're a fantastic aquaculture candidate in Australia because they're a high-value, low-volume species. So therefore, high-value, low-volume means you can make good margins on this business. There's a limited habitat where green-lip abalone are found. In Australia, offshore reef is really a real accident because we're quite poor in offshore reef systems. But there's lots of areas out there with sand and seagrass which are suitable. If there was a rock there, that was how the idea came about. Let's put some rocks out there, put some abalone from a hatchery-reared facility on them and see what happens. And what happened was pretty magic. So we're the world leaders in green-lip abalone ranching because we're the innovators and the developers of this technology, and we have some of that patented. And we call the reefs habitats, a play on words between abalone and habitat. I'm trying to replicate what I see in nature. I used to be an ab diver for many years, and basically position these reefs into the southwest of the swell where all the food, green-lip abalone are lazy, they don't move. They're just waiting for the food to come to them, which is seaweed. And you've got to be in an area where there's strong currents and lots of food. And I like to tell people what we're doing. You know, I love storms because to me, swell is rain. When the swell's up, these things are getting fed. We're not at work. Our boys are out doing tow-ins at Cow Bomby or something, and they're having a great time, and I'm having a great time knowing that these abalone are growing without any input from us. So they've got to be somewhere where the habitat was there, naturally. Sorry, I'm really rushing through this one because it's... So they feed on algae. We have a supply agreement with the local hatchery in Bremer Bay, great partners of ours. Quite a large surface area on one of these blocks. To give you an idea, they're 1 metre high, around 2 metres wide. They have lots of weed vents in them, so the weed doesn't block them up. And they have a surface area of 10 metres squared, which supports a harvest rate. So we harvest about 60 abalone a year at that size off them. We're in quite deep water, and OH and alcohol safety is very important to us. So we only employ ADAS Part 1 and 2 commercial divers. We stick to the Australian diving standard rules, and by doing that, you know, we keep a lot of records on our health of our divers, and we've got a very strong team because of that. So we've been doing this for a while, done a lot of R&D, got quite a big lease in Augusta now, 413 hectares. It's right next to the marina, which is fantastic. We now have some leases in Esperance, which is being seeded right now with our partner. We've just commenced research leases trials in Port Lincoln, very excited about that area. We've had to raise a bit of money along the way to keep going. My equity just keeps going down, but that's all right. I'm passionate about what I do, and I believe it'll come back one day. And yeah, we actually listed our prospectus on the ASX yesterday, so look out for that on our website if you're interested in what we do. Our abalone, this basically just shows that they grow at the same rate as the nearby wild populations, so they're not feed limited. They're actually in a good area and getting enough nutrition to grow at exactly the same rate as abalone in the wild nearby. Great spot in Augusta. Fortunately, it's probably the best location in Australia, and I'm fortunate that I grew up there. So it was a very lucky coincidence that there's a marina in Augusta. It's close to a town. Got access to the juveniles, a large area of sand and seagrass where you can actually position the reefs. And we're also a lot closer to the markets than our cousins on the East Coast. So there's the lease in Augusta. You can see how big the area is. There's the town of Augusta, there's the airstrip, that whole area here. Basically, this is all abalone ground I used to fish, and around the back, all the swell comes from the southwest and the roaring 40s, and you just get food washing across the reef. Very simple system. I talked about the divers, great crew. They don't leave generally, they just want to hang on and be a part of the team, and they're great innovators, and yeah, I've got a lot of respect for our team. We've taken over the wharf at Augusta. You rock up there in the morning and there's 5 of our boats, and there's just activity going on everywhere, and it's really cool to see. It happens every morning and every afternoon at DMOB. We make our own blocks, we can do 14 a day. So to give you an idea of scale there's only 20 blocks there and we'll have 10,000 out, so there's a lot of rocks out there. We have our own deployment vessel, we can put out 6 at a time. So the process is, first you've got to build the reef, which you just saw on land, then you place it in the water. Divers form them into strings using airbags. You can see we're just on sand and seagrass there, that's just seaweed floating past. We bring the abalone across from the hatchery in Bremer Bay in these fish bins, so we can actually put out 88,000 abalone in 2 hours now onto our reefs, because I've got a special technology for putting them out there in the baskets. So they come across in these baskets with the lids. We attach those baskets to the reef, take the lid off. Over the next 2 weeks, the abalone crawl out and make their space on the reef when they're comfortable. When I first started this thing, I was actually trying to put abalone on the reef by hand, and all I was doing was feeding fish. So hence the technology evolved from there. It's quite simple technology. Have my little fast boat there, the Shelby Ann, named after my daughter, that we dump a cage of release baskets onto the diver, and then the diver just spreads the release baskets onto the to see the reef. 3 minutes, shit, there's the harvest. Beautiful looking product. Right, there we go.
Well, I was sitting on the bottom of the bay, collecting abalones for my pay. Sitting there watching all the Jewies and the gropers where they play. I was chasing snails all day. Well, I was launching thingy just the other day. Forgot to put the bones in and she sank her straight away. Well, I was sitting on the bottom of the bay.
No inputs to the system at all. Apart from
I was
abalone.
collecting abalones for my pay. I was sitting there watching all the Jewies and the couples where they play. I was chasing snails for a long day. Just chipping these $20 bills and into my big bag, well, I didn't fill. Well, I was just saving up for a new Porsche. I want the one with the black and gold GT strap love car. So again now. Well, I was just sitting on the bottom of the bay. I was collecting abalones for my pay. Watching all the Jewies and the couples where they play. I was chasing snails for a long day.
Moonwalking.
bay.
Yeah, so we'll do 40 tonnes this financial year of product. Yeah, eventually just keep scaling up from there. Got a processing factory. Yeah, I've only got a minute left. Same quality as wild catch product, so it's actually a wild catch replacement product from aquaculture. I don't sell it as aquaculture, I sell it as wild produce. The market loves it. We just won one of the best producers from the Delicious Awards magazine because the quality of the product's so good. Yes, we're looking to grow. So I know I'm rushing through this, but yeah, the current investment that we're getting from the market is actually to grow this business. Beautiful harbour, got some tourism, so I think seafood tourism is massive in the future, so really looking forward to that part of it. And there's our great crew. Thanks very much.